Peter and Robin Anderson are suing the ex-boyfriend of Robin's mother, James McGuire, for a loan to make mortgage payments.
Whose mother was it who lived with Mr. McGuire?
Mine.
Miss Anderson, Mr. McGuire and your mother lived together for approximately 20 years in a house that they jointly owned. In the summer of 2017, was there a dispute and he was ejected from the house? What month?
It was about September.
And there was a domestic dispute.
Yes.
Where did you go?
I went to a friend's house and stayed with him for about 8 days or so.
And then where did you go?
I rented a room in a hotel.
Did you stay in that room?
I stayed there for about a month, and I got to know the proprietor pretty well. And he asked me if I wanted to look at an apartment that he had. So he showed me that, and I accepted.
Is that where you are now?
That's where I am now.
So since you moved out, you've been paying rent someplace,
Yes.
either in a room or an apartment.
Right.
Do you work, sir?
I'm a self-employed plumbing contractor, but I still do some jobs, but I'm not nearly as active as I used to be.
And your mother, does she work?
She's retired.
And when your mother retired, did she have a pension?
She had retirement, from a 401k.
Okay. When this house was purchased, Mr. McGuire, it was purchased 20 years ago. Had you and Miss Anderson's mother lived together prior to purchasing the house?
Yes, we had an apartment, and then we started looking for a house rather than pay rent.
And was there a down payment that was placed on the house?
Yes.
Do you recall who put that money down?
Nancy did.
Do you remember how much money it was?
I believe it was $25,000.
So far, does that sound correct to you?
Yes.
Okay. The house was sold at a certain point. In what month was the house sold?
January of 2018.
So what you want him to do is, because you paid the mortgage, according to you, September, October, November, December, part of January.
It was actually, my mother paid July. We paid August, September, October.
I don't care. He's out of the house. Did you pay the mortgage in August?
I paid July for sure.
But not August.
I don't think so. I'd have to.
I can prove I paid August.
Okay. So August. And how much was the mortgage in August?
By this point, it had already accrued some fees and stuff, so I paid 3 months because by the time I had found out that my mother was, they were going into foreclosure.
Listen to me.
Mm-hmm. I don't know because they didn't break it down into 1 month. It was 3 months that I paid.
That would be your problem.
I can tell you how much the payment is.
Good.
Okay.
You can show me how much the payment is. Because he was living there in August, Miss Anderson, and he certainly minimally should be responsible for half of the mortgage payment in August.
Yes.
Not after he moved. You see, what you...
He didn't move. He got thrown out
I don't care.
due to a restraining order.
Even better.
Okay.
Because what your lawsuit says is, I didn't want my mother to be out in the street, so my husband and I paid the mortgage until the house was sold. My mother gave me her half. I want him to give me his half of the mortgage payment.
Correct.
But he was living not inside the home. You kept that house so that your mother would have a roof over her head. He had to pay rent someplace else. Your mother didn't.
Okay.